What are those habits that are pushing you forward or holding you back in business? Today, we will do a deep dive into business habits that can push you forward. And I want to encourage you to stay with us because today I'm going to be giving a lot of information that can literally transform the way you do business. Today in studio, I have one of my colleagues, and his name is no other than Frank. And Frank is an economist by profession. He is a leader by practice and certification, and he is also uh, in the process of publishing his new book. And today we're going to do a deep dive into the topic, which is habits, business habits that pushes you forward. Now, Frank, I want to welcome you. How was the weekend?
Oh, it was fantastic. Fantastic. At least I got the rest. I got
Yeah,
some rest.
rest
Get
is so
some rest.
important, man.
I got to
Sometimes,
rest.
sometimes I wish you could go and buy some rest, and
You
just,
know,
stir it up
it,
there.
well, let me tell you something. It would be in so because of the demand, the cost of
Uh-huh.
that rest is going to be high.
That's the fastest way to cash flow, bro.
You know, right?
Can you imagine that day comes, man? You could just buy
Yeah.
rest and, sell rest, Oh my God.
Yeah.
Some people just can't get enough of it.
But if you should really look beyond, you could, you know, you can buy the rest when you would have made the kind of money because a rest is like a vacation and oh rest like
You got
traveling to
it.
somewhere, so yeah, it's possible, it's
I
possible.
like the way I like the way you look at that. I love that way you look at it. You take that vacation, all inclusive family tour.
Yeah,
Perhaps some of the habits that we're going to go into will definitely give some clues to
exactly,
rising stars in business to really figure out,
exactly.
the importance of rest and as an essential habit
Yeah.
for business. But Frank, I want to begin today's program by looking at a concept that I find in middle income and developing economy. It is not a common topic for most rising stars in business, largely so because business are accustomed to be run the traditional way.
Hmm.
But what I want to table is a concept that we call influencer marketing.
Hmm.
And I do believe that there need to be more conversation around what is influencer marketing. And I say this based on the fact that every rising star in business, they have to go through what is known as the growth curve. And that growth curve is a major loop because if you're not able to break through this growth curve of being known, of being liked, of being trusted in providing your products and services, you could remain in this loop for a very long time. And you find that the pin that breaks the camel back is influencers and influencers marketing. So when you're now able to bring this influencer marketing concept into the business development equation, into the marketing equation, it really sets the stage to bring down some of the challenges as it relates to that know, like, and trust, which leads to, really positioning that product or that service in a manner in the market that allows it from the get-go to command attention, to pique interest, to arouse desire, to move that client into action, to make impact, to cash flow optimize, to build confidence, trust, and credibility. All of this comes with the when one understands what is the influencer marketing. I just want to draw a quick distinction in terms of what it is, and then I'll open up the floor. But during my conversation here today, I will continue to examine exactly what influencers marketing is as what I call an essential habits for businesses to learn, apply, and master when they want to push their operation and forward. The distinction that I want to draw now is that to be good with the influencer marketing techniques, there's the concept that we call the pull factors of sale, or the pull versus the push factors of sale. And I do believe that it is so important to really take the time to understand the distinguishing features between what is known as the pull factors of sales and the push factors of sale. Traditionally, you find that your sales team, your marketing team, they're heavily involved in what is known as the push factors of sale. And if you go about the push factors of sales in the wrong way, it's going to undermine the objective that you want to accomplish. Now, when you apply the pull factors of sale, uh, the nature of pull factors of sales has a representative element of the influencer marketing theory. It really forces you to get to the ground, to collect information about the market, about the ideal client, about technology that you can leverage to your advantage to achieve your objective. So, anyone that is trained to use what is known as the pull factors of sale, they have the habits that will position them to be more successful in business and to push them forward in the business equation. So I just want to lay that groundwork for now as we go into today's topic. Just before I leave, Frank, I give hand over to you. One of the programs that we want to introduce to the public is the program that we call the GIP Initiative. And GIP stands for Global Influencers Partners Program. And I want to reemphasize this. If you're in business or a rising star in business and you're not using the influencer model to help to drive visibility, reach, and impact with your products and services, believe me, you're leaving tremendous cash flow on that table. So you want to settle in and listen to all that I'm going to be saying, we're going to be saying as relates to this particular subject. Frank, all to you, my friend.
Thanks, buddy. Um, I I like the idea of the influencer market. And as you were talking, I'm thinking about the importance of influencer marketing for thought leadership, not a new topic, but influencer market or marketing. That's a term that's been making waves in the marketing industry for a while now, and for good reason. In this world where people trust personal recommendations more than advertisements, the influencer marketing has become that essential tool for thought leadership, um, essential for business, for business that is looking to reach their target audience. And with that in place, it is a powerful tool for thought leadership. As I delve into the importance of influencer marketing for thought leadership and how it can help one establish themselves as a leader in the industry. So, for those who are listening, I want you to sit back, grab a cup of coffee, and let's get ready to discover the world of influencer marketing. This kind of marketing, influencer marketing, is a form of marketing where businesses partner with individuals who have a large following on social media or other online platforms. And these individuals, known as influencers, have built trust have built credibility with their followers, and businesses can leverage this trust to promote their products or services. But why is it important to understand influencer marketing? Because the benefits are numerous. First, the influencer marketing allows businesses to reach a highly targeted audience. And by partnering with an influencer who appeals to their target audience, business can effectively reach a large number of potential customers. Second, influencer marketing can help build trust and credibility for a brand. Now, when a trusted influencer endorses a product or service, it can increase the perceived value of the product and make it more appealing to the influencer's followers. Third, influencer marketing can lead to an increased engagement and conversations. And so, by partnering with an influencer who is well liked and trusted by their followers, businesses can tap into the influencer's engagement and drive conversations overall. Understanding influencer marketing and its benefit is crucial for businesses looking to establish themselves as thought leaders in their industry. And with the right strategy and execution, influencer marketing can help establish your brand. It can help you reach your target audience. It can help you build trust and credibility in the industry. Now, I mentioned personal brand and influencer marketing. Building a strong personal brand is, I should say, crucial for thought leaders looking to establish themselves as experts in their industry. The personal branding is all about showcasing who you are, what you stand for, and what sets you apart from the competition. Influencer marketing, influencer marketing that is, can play a significant role in helping you build a strong personal brand. First, partnering with the right influencers can help you reach a wider audience and increase your visibility. So, by collaborating with influencers who have a large following in the industry, you can tap into their audience and increase your reach. Secondly, influencer marketing can help you establish credibility in your industry. And when a trusted influencer endorses you or endorses your products or services, it can increase the perceived value of your personal brand and then make it more appealing to their followers. Thirdly, influencer marketing can help you build relationships in your industry. So, by collaborating with influencers, you can make new connections and build relationships with other thought leaders in your industry. So, the influencer marketing can be a powerful tool for building a strong personal brand and establishing yourself as a thought leader in your industry. So, by partnering with the right influencers and executing a strong influencer marketing strategy like this, you can increase visibility, establish credibility, and build relationships in your industry. And so, when you've done all that, you need to create a strategy for influencer marketing for thought leadership. So, when it comes to influencer marketing for thought leadership, having that solid strategy in place is key to success. If you don't have a clear strategy, you risk wasting time and resources on partnerships that may not align with your goals. So, how do you create a strategy for influencer marketing for thought leadership? A few steps to consider are: one, identify your target audience. Understanding who you want to reach is critical to success in influencer marketing. So, you need to consider the demographics, the interests, behavior patterns of your target audience. in order to help you identify the right influencer to partner with. Then you research potential influencers. You need to look for influencers who have a following in your industry and who align with your personal brand and values. Consider their engagement rate, the content they produce, and their overall reach when evaluating potential partners. Then you define your goals. What do you hope to achieve with your influencer marketing campaign? Are you looking to increase brand awareness? Are you looking to drive awareness, drive conversions, or build relationships in the industry? So when you define your goals up front, it will help you determine the metrics you need to track and measure success. And then you create a content plan. So work with that influencer partners to create content that is aligned with your with your goals and will resonate with the followers. Consider the type of content you want to produce, how you want to distribute it, and how you will measure the success. And then you need to evaluate and adjust your strategy. So after your influencer marketing campaign is complete, evaluate the results and adjust your strategy as needed. Use the insight you would have gathered to improve future campaigns and better align with your goals. Creating a strategy for influencer marketing for thought leadership takes time and efforts, but the rewards can be substantial. So by following the steps and continuously refining your strategy, you can establish yourself as a thought leader in your industry and build a strong personal brand. Over to you, Gary.
Wow, that was a lot. You cover a broad area, which is good. So I really trust that the listening audience would have taken some notes based on what Frank would have spoken about. What I want to do, I just want to expand a little bit on some of what Frank would have spoken about. So, as a rising star in business, one of the business habits that you want to adopt, you want to learn, apply, and master is how to become an influencer in your field of business, or to adopt this as an essential marketing tool for the business. Now, you can go about this in two ways. You can go about it in the way Frank would have proposed, which is you identify influencers who have content in alignment with uh, your appeal to your target audience, and you build out that relationship. Now, what I must say, in most cases, connecting with these type of influencers may come at a high cost. So, as you attempt to adopt and apply and leverage influencer marketing, it's important that you factor this cost into the cost of doing business. And I do believe that the cost justifies the end results when you know what you're doing. Frank gives you a number of indicators to look for. It's not just any influencer. That influencer must be aligned to the demographics, the target market that you want to appeal to. Because if these analytics is not done, the possibility exists that you may be using an influencer to achieve either, brand awareness or client awareness and client conversion, and none of it works because the alignment is not there. Now, the other approach that you can use here is to adopt into this their corporate culture this concept that we call the influencer model. That means that your department heads or essential place in the organization, they will be trained in terms of how to apply themselves as influencer representing the brand. Now, in most cases, when the public see your representative, what they see is a salesperson. Sometimes they may see that person for the first time. What if you can design your sales strategy to have stronger impact, where persons may never see them person to person, but because they have visibility, because they have leveraged themselves in a manner over a period of time, they would have built up uh, public confidence and trust and credibility. And because of this, they are now able to drive sales for your operation. What if? And I'm saying all of this is possible when you apply the process in the right way. Now, there's a number of things that I would want to also get into because becoming an influencer is not as simple as one, two, three. There's a number of things that you need to understand when you want to execute on becoming an influencer. And I want to also emphasize this: moving in this direction is vital for the success of every business. I'm not aware of an influencer who knows what he or she is doing that would have failed in what they're doing, failed in business. All right. So these are essential habits for you to know and to own. All right. To know and to own. Now, what I want you to do is to point you to some of the programs that we have because this platform is the eye opener, but we can't go deep into this program with you because of time and other factors. But one of the programs that I want to introduce to you, I want to introduce to you a program that we call the GIP Initiative. And when you look on screen, you're going to see the GIP Initiative. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to walk you through some of the essential takeaway from this program. One of the essential takeaway from this program, you will learn what is the fastest ways to cash flow your brand. Becoming an influencer, in this context, becoming a global influencer partner, it will immediately position you to start to identify some of the fastest ways to begin to cash flow your operation. And I'm saying to you that these things are real because these are things that we are using. And let me give you an example. As a global influencer being trained by the GIP Initiative, you will be trained and exposed to platform that has over 3 billion users. And again, this is why I said at the beginning, if you're in business and you're not necessarily pausing and asking yourself, what is the importance and what is the relevance of becoming an influencer on key platforms, you're doing the business on yourself harm. All right. Um, we can set you up with the GIP initiative and we can give you the kind of exposure where you're able to build content the right way. All right. And put yourself out there. And just let me pause here a little bit because, sometimes when I say build content the right way, it could be abstract. But as you position yourself to be a content producer, you need to understand how to package and put that content out there. You need to understand things like what is your keyword, what is description, what is SEO. You need to pause a bit and really ask yourself. The first thing that the public sees about you in the direct to sale effort is you. But as a social media influencer, sometimes that's not the first thing that people see. What they see is your thumbnail. And if your thumbnail don't have the kind of appeal to appeal to the ideal client, there's where immediately you lose interest. So you really have to understand the psychographics behind this entire design. Frank get a little bit into that just now. My role is just to give you a little bit more to really help you to understand what you're getting into. So these are just some of the important concepts for you to start thinking about. We're going to put you on platforms where you are able to not only get the visibility, not only optimize cash flow, but we're going to, on this very platform, we will also work with you to set you up in ways that you can leverage this same setup to generate multiple streams of income for that business. So one of the essential takeaway is you will learn how to master the fastest ways to cash flow. And by fast, what do I mean? In a month or two, 3 months, when you know what you're doing, you can position your brand for massive amount of cash flow. Again, what I want to do as you look at this slide, now the next thing that we have is master the real cost of doing business. Now, the fallacy that people, a lot of rising stars get into business with is that you have a perception that doing business is cheap. Well, of course, if you are a small thinker, it's going to be cheap. And perhaps thinking small is what's going to keep you small. But doing business is important for you to pause and really ask yourself, what is the real cost of doing business? All right. You have human resource to look at. You have technical resource to look at. There's cost for capital. Are you really pausing a little bit and thinking about all of this? What this program does, it really helps you to understand how to do strategic budgeting to achieve the business objective. Because you don't want to create a situation where you're 1 degree from success, but guess what? You run out of cash because you did not have the foresight to think ahead, to see beyond the problems, and to take practical steps to achieve the desired end result. So largely because you didn't think about it, you undermine a genuine effort to grow and scale your vision. So we will talk to you in this program about really understanding the real cost of doing business. Because one might want to say, okay, social media is the lowest cost of entry when you want to create visibility. But I want to say to you, you're perhaps not fair to yourself. You don't have all the information when you're making that kind of decision. Because to make it on social media for the majority of people, you need to have a machinery around you. You need to have technical personnel that understand what is social media management, what is digital marketing, that understand graphic designs, that understand how to build graphic designs to appeal to the ideal client. All of these things must be factored into the efforts to achieve visibility, reach, and impact and client conversion, cash flow optimization, confidence, trust, and credibility. It's not automatic, but as Frank would have explained to you early on, by adopting the right processes, by getting the mentors, by getting the coach, by getting the sponsors, by getting the supportive community behind you that understand how this ecosystem works, is where you're going to win. So I want to encourage you to go to the website that is on your screen right now. All right. That website is bestsellerportal.org. I just want you to go to this website. Now, when you go to the website, you will see a number of programs. But today we are not looking at all the programs. You may see 1 degree to success, but I want you to skip past that. You're going to see business success blueprint. I want you to skip past that. And the very third item that you're going to come to is the GIP Initiative. This is the Global Influencers Partners Program that will really help you to understand all that we are talking about and so much more. I'm going to pause here for now, but I just want to throw out one more concept just before I hand over to Frank. On this program, you will understand how to build and master your personal brand. All right. Businesses today, you talk about corporate brand, and corporate brand is very important. All right. But what if you give your corporate brand some teeth and some pull and some swag? Let me put it in that way. You give the corporate brand some teeth, some pull, and some swag, by now focusing on building personal brand that's going to help that business to leapfrog. And you build a personal brand by focusing on exactly what we are talking about here today, influencers marketing. It's going to give you an edge. And we know exactly what to do to help you achieve this. Now, one more thing that I want to show, because, they say, proof is in the pudding. When you look at this website here, it's this YouTube channel. We have started this channel a little over 2 months ago. But they said to become an influencer, you at least need to have about 10,000 subs on your platform. When you go to this platform, we don't have 10,000 subs. You have 21,000 subs. So we have doubled the mark to now consider yourself an influencer. But this is not the only one. We have multiple platforms where we have demonstrated what is possible. And think about it. Because of your personal brand, you are now able to reach hundreds of thousands of persons with your brand. And we have been able to do this in less than 3 months. All right, less than 3 months. This is proof of what can be done. It's not a gap. This is reality. So here is where we could build up your content, where you, as a personal, you and your personal brand, leveraging influencer marketing, you have right into your pocket, you have 100,000 subs, you have 200,000 subs, 500,000 subs, but then you have your products and services because you have raving consumers. From the time you put out a content here, you don't have to worry about the consumers because here you have it. All right. You can put a book out today, and with 20,000 subs, with 100,000 subs, you can take that book to bestseller instantly. Whoops. Because of all that we're talking about. So I just want to share this bit of information here with you to really help you to understand what we are doing here is not a gaffe, it's serious business. And we want to share this information with you to ensure that you can win in business and win in life. Frank, all to you, my friend.
I thank you, buddy. And this is really getting interested, and I'm hoping that listeners are going to take the opportunity to get onto this GIP initiative. It's very interesting. You will learn a lot. You will gain a lot. Now, let's go back to some of the best practices for working with influencers for thought leadership. It's a powerful way to build your thought leadership and reach a wider audience, but it's important that you approach the partnership with the right strategy and mindset. And in order to do that, um, here are some best practices. The first one is to identify the right influencer. So you choose influencers who align with your personal brand and your personal values, have a following in your industry, and have a high level of engagement with their followers. And then you establish clear goals, determine what you hope to achieve with your influencer marketing campaign, and this will help guide your approach and inform your decision-making process. When you've done that, you need to build a relationship. You need to work to build a relationship with
your influencer partners. Engage with them on social media. Show appreciation for their work and make it clear why you believe they would be a good fit for your campaign. Provide value. As an entrepreneur, you need to offer influencers something of value in exchange for their partnership. This could be compensation. This could be exposure to your audience, or even access to your resource or expertise. Then you need to respect your audience. You see, influencer partnership should be a two-way street. Be respectful of your influencer's audience and approach the partnership with a focus on creating value for them, not just for yourself. Develop a content plan is another step. Work with your influencer partners to develop a content plan that align with your goals and resonates with their followers. And then you consider the type of content you want to produce, how you want to distribute it, and how you will measure success. And then you measure your success. Continuously monitor your influencer marketing campaign in order to understand its impact and make informed decisions about your future campaigns. Consider metrics like what are your reach, your engagement, what's the traffic, what's the conversion, what is your ROI, which is returns on investment. And so you're following these best practices will help you to build successful partnership with influencers that support your goals and help you achieve greater leadership success. But you need to remember, working with influencers is not a one size fits all solution. So you need to be flexible and willing to adjust your approach based on the unique needs and requirements of each partner. So before I get into, I was about to say my final thoughts, but I leave that. The world of influencer marketing is constantly evolving, and it's important to stay ahead of the curve if you want to use this powerful tool to build your thought leadership. There is a new there is artificial intelligence now out and automation. So the AI and automation technologies are making it easier to identify and target right influencers. It makes it easier to measure your campaign success and optimize your approach over time. And of course, there will be micro influencers. While their big name influencers can be effective, the micro influencers, that is, people with smaller or highly engaged followings, they are becoming increasingly popular. And this is due to the fact that they often have more niche and passionate following, which make them a great fit for thought leadership campaigns. Of course, how authentic and transparent are you? You see, as the consumers become more savvy about the nature of influencer marketing, there will become a growing emphasis on your authenticity and transparency. And this means that influencer partners should be genuine, should be honest, have clear communication about the nature of the partnership and the value being provided to both parties. And then there should be integration with other marketing channels. You see, the influencer marketing is no longer a standalone channel, and the future of influencer marketing for thought leadership will likely involve more integration with other marketing channels, such as email marketing, content marketing, and social media advertising. Doing all of that, you increase your focus on your ROI. A business invests more in influencer marketing there's a growing emphasis on measuring the return of investment of these campaigns, and this means that thought leaders need to be strategic and intentional in their approach, and another and be able to demonstrate the impact of their influencer marketing efforts. Now, these trends and developments are shaping the future of influencer marketing for thought leadership. And it's important to stay informed and adjust the approach accordingly. So, by embracing the latest technologies and best practices, you can use influencer marketing to build your thought leadership and reach a wider audience. Over to you, Gary.
All right, great share, Frank. I want to speak again from the GIP initiative, and because Frank has raised some pretty interesting points. You talk about measuring the effectiveness of your advertising dollar, and that is something that you want to do. Again, we are having this conversation because we're seeing many businesses, you invest your hard-earned dollars into advertising to attain brand visibility, brand reach, brand impact, and hopefully client conversion. I say hopefully because in many cases, you're not achieving the end results. And there are reasons why you're not achieving the end results, because the traditional platforms that you're using in most cases, you don't have the matrix to measure the advertising effectiveness. And if you follow me, some of the things that we often talk about is the concept that we call the DASHMAR. What is DASHMAR? Defining advertising goal for measure advertising results. All right. So every dollar that you're going to be putting into advertising, you want to be able to measure it. What we're saying here is that when you become a social media influencer, when you become a global influencer, you will be using platforms that allows you to get the data. So you're able to quantify the number of persons who are looking at the program. You're able to quantify how many represents male and female. You're able to quantify age group. You're able to quantify countries that they're watching from. And you're able to go into your analysis and make these clinical assessments. And largely because you're able to get into the data analytics that tells you who is looking, when, and why, you now have a better idea how to develop your content to appeal to the ideal client. That again puts you in a win-win situation. So the GIP initiative, the Global Influencers Partners Program, is going to be helping you to understand all of that, all of what Frank is talking about, and what we put into you, and so much more. Now, let me take you to an essential takeaway that you will get with this program. One of the essential takeaway that you will learn is how to master 8 steps to become a global influencer. And think about it. There are 8 steps that you will be able to learn, apply, and master. And these 8 steps are going to set you up to become a global influencer, not just a local influencer or a national influencer or a regional influencer. You're going to be able to reach the globe. Think about this. Some of the things that you will learn, as I spoke to you early on, it's not a walk in the park. It's possible. And once you conquer this, your business will be set up to win tremendously. Some of the things that you will learn is what is content design and presentation structure. You need to understand these things. Producing content is not just about waking up and producing. Frank would have hinted, yes, you may have AI that is going to help you to some extent, but when you are branding yourself, you want to perhaps figure out how to combine AI with your independent thoughts, because AI is still a learning platform, and perhaps it may not give you the full representation that you want in terms of the image that you want to portray. So you need to understand all of this. On this platform, you will also learn about content research and content creation. Do you just create your content, or do you research your content? And why do you research? Because again, the content that you're producing is not for you. If you recognize everything that we are talking about here is not for us, we are talking because the audience is king, the audience is queen, and we are speaking here to provide solution. So what we are doing is not for us. I could have been talking about, I got on a nice glasses, I had a nice haircut, and I got on my jacket, but the audience didn't want to know that. The audience have a challenge, and your content must be able to speak to that, their needs and their wants and their expectations. And if you're not doing the research, you don't have the information. So we will talk to you about the best practices that you need to deploy to collect the information, to analyze the information, to develop the information, and leverage it to your advantage. We will go into all of this as we look at the 8 steps to becoming that global influencer. All right. So content delivery is another thing, and your personal branding is another issue for you to look at. How do you deliver content? All right. Do you understand things like vocal variety? Do you understand like what is pitch and power and pause as you position yourself to deliver your content? Do you understand what is the humorous style? What is the educational format? So there's a lot that you can learn here. There's a lot that you will learn as you get into campus to really understand this body of knowledge that we have built out for you. Now, I want to say this. Again, we are humanitarian, and we tend to do a lot of what we do because we see challenges that people are going through. When you look at the facts, the statistics, and you're seeing that in 2021, we had 20.8% of business startup fail. That is an aha moment. When we look at 2022 and we see 40% of business startup fail, of course, you was in the pandemic and all of that. But when you see all of this happening, it is a aha moment. When we come to 2023, we see 49.9% of business startup fail in 3 years. That is an aha moment. We saw a challenge, we saw a problem. And as we analyze realities on the ground, we now develop programs that we know can provide the solution for businesses. All right. And as we develop the programs, guess what else we are doing? We're testing the programs to make sure it's working. So again, this is proof. This is only one of the proof, all right, of what we can do in less than 3 months. We can help you to attract over 20,000, over 30,000, new audience base to your social platforms, to your influencer brand. So every time you put a content out there, it is going directly to that audience base. It could be a book, all right? Your book can reach bestseller when you know what you're doing. It could be products and services. You have more visibility here. So when we research, we test it. And when we test it and we get the results that we want, we now package it into programs just for you to ensure that when we present to you, we're not presenting from a supposition. We're not presenting from a theory. We're presenting from facts to ensure that we can impact you. So myself and Frank and our team, we are highly invested in market research, highly invested in collecting critical intelligence. All right, we are always market oriented, market sensitive before we become market responsive. And these are all essential business habits that you need to learn, apply, and master when you want to win in business. Again, to get this website, before I turn to Frank, all you need to do is to go to www.bestsellerportal.org, and you scroll down the front page to the third item, and there you will find this GIP Initiative program, Global Influencers Partners Program. Log in, sign up, and let's get you started. Frank, all to you, my friend.
All right, thanks, Gary. So, my final thoughts for this morning is to remind you that influencer marketing is a very powerful tool for thought leaders who are looking to reach a wider audience and who wants to establish their expertise in their industry. It also involves partnering with influencers, people who have that large following and high level of engagement with their followers. Um, we here to it also helps to promote your personal brand and message. The benefits of influencer marketing for thought leadership are numerous, and that includes increased reach, your credibility improved, enhanced engagement with your target audience. And to be successful with influencer marketing, it's important to identify the right influencer partners. It's important to establish clear goals. It's important to build strong relationships and provide value. Always remember to respect the audience. You need to develop a content plan, and then you measure your success. So, as the world of influencer marketing continues to evolve, it's important to stay ahead of the curve by embracing new technologies and best practices, and then integrating your approach with other marketing channels. Once you have the right approach, the influencer marketing can help you achieve greater thought leadership success and thus reaching a wider audience base. I hope you take this to heart. Um, Keep in tune with us. There's so much more to come. But always remember that whatever we teach you, if you take the advice and you put it into practice, not just taking it, but putting it into practice, then and only then can you be the successful leader, the successful entrepreneur, the successful businessman that you were supposed to be, that you are potentially going to be. So stay with us, grow with us, speak with us. Have a good day.
Definitely. Frank, I know you're very strong on personal branding. I know you're strong on and leadership. And I know that you're about to release that book, my friend.
Oh
So I want you to
yes.
talk to us a little bit about that book.
And that book was long coming. I think it's about 5 years
It's a
in the
long time, my friend. It's a
in
long
embryo
time.
in embryo stage. But it speaks to things like these. Um, Sound leadership in today's dynamic world, and because of how, especially post COVID, how the business landscape has evolved, how our interaction with consumers, with competitions have evolved as COVID-19. One has got to get on board, to learn more, to read more, to identify the strengths of your industry and how you can compete in this ever-changing landscape. So what the book does is just to open your mind, open your knowledge base so that you can be in a position where you can be more competitive, where you can be more empathetic, where you can be the kind of leader or business entrepreneur that will not just look for profits in your business, but also how you can help your community, how you can help your neighbor, how you can help somebody else to grow. In life, it's not always about competition and seeing how better you can do for someone else, but how can you help a brother or sister to advance, to come up to the level? And it takes a lot, because if you are have what we call a inferiority complex, God help you. So you need to go beyond that inferiority. You need to see yourself not just as competent, but as a helper, as someone who is there to help someone else up. And let me tell you something, there's so much more satisfaction when you can help somebody to move from one standard, or let's say from poverty to a millionaire
Middle
status.
income. Yeah. Yeah. Frank, that's a great share. And I really love it because you speak about it. It reminds me of some of the books that we have written. And one of the things that we talk about when you're building a brand, you want to build that brand to achieve 4 points of impact. Four. Traditional, we talk about how to, impact the business cash flow and how to impact the ideal client. But we see some gaps there too. Is how do you impact your team so they become highly motivated workforce because of the policies and the systems and the culture that you have created to really help them to elevate in more ways than one. So I really love what you're saying. As corporate leaders, it makes a lot of sense to create that environment where your team has the level of motivation where you don't even have to motivate them to get the job done because they're part of the community. They're a true part of the community and they feel your essence, your efforts to want them to achieve greatness. So I love that share. Again, I want to come back to our topic today. We talk about business habits that push you forward. And we talk a lot today about the influencer marketing. We took one topic and we do that deep dive into its importance. So, in the event that you're now thinking about adopting influencers marketing to your business, regardless of where you are in the world, we can help you. You could be in the US and Canada, you can be in the UK, you can be in France and Italy. We know it's a foreign language different there, but guess what? We have the programs to help you. You could be in the Caribbean. Uh, you too can benefit from this program. All right. So I want to encourage you guys to continue to listen, continue to like, subscribe, and share because we will continue to bring you this kind of information. And I want you, once you're in business and you're serious about moving to the next level of development, I want you to reach out to us because today having a corporate brand alone, which is good, it's not enough. It's not enough in a globally changing competitive environment. So you have to adjust your competitive strategies, and we can help you to do that. And we have the proof that we can do that. And we have shown you some of the proof. All right. In a very short period of time, we have attracted over 30,000 subscribers to our platforms. And, sometimes when you talk, sometimes it may come over as wishful thinking. In promoting this site, which we call the bestseller portal, when you go to this site, we clearly state in 5 years, we want to attract 5 million persons to the platform. And to some, it perhaps was like, wishful thinking. But what I want to emphasize, so as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. I'm not the author for those words. But if we can attract 30,000 in less than 2 months. Think about what we can do over the next 5 years. Can we reach that target? Yes. And I want to say this, we are now beginning to get warm up in terms of what we can do in terms of attracting the ideal client. Now beginning to get warm up. And if now getting warm up demonstrates what we can do here, think about when we get warm up, what can happen. Just think about it. So you have social proof here. So I want you to go to this website. You can you can go to Google and you can just type in at habits and money. Just type that in and press on that link, and it will take you to this page where you can become a subscriber and you can see social proof in action. So, with that being said, Frank, I don't know if you have anything else to share before we wrap up right now, but you have some words to say. All to you, my friend.
Yeah, it's just to say to you that once you want to get into this kind of once you're interested in businesses and then being the best leader, because my thing is about leadership. Businesses rise and fall on the type of leaders that they have,
Exactly.
and whatever you do as a leader will not just affect you, it will affect the team, it can affect your family, it can also affect society. So one has got to be very thoughtful and careful on how you approach your leadership style. When is it okay to hold information? When is it okay to give out information? When is it okay to allow a team member to take the lead and when it's not? And so what we do is to train you and to teach you and to talk, have a discussion on you on how you can be the most successful leader in this time. Because we need strong leadership. Strong leadership is needed for a successful business. Thank you.
Frank, I could not have agreed with you anymore. Leadership is vital. You rise and you fall on leadership. And I'm happy that we have such a talent like yourself amongst us to really give the mentorship, the guidance, the support. You have years of experience. You have taught at some of the top universities in the Caribbean. You're a leader in your field. So I'm happy that we were able to capture that knowledge and give you a platform to really, demonstrate, your ability to transform the human development experience. So again, to the audience, we have a number of talents within us, our community, that are here to give you that support. Again, as a rising star in business, you may also need access to capital. Guess what? That's not a problem. We can help you to access debt, equity, credit, creative financing, hard money lending. We can help you to access capital at 0% APR. All you need to do is to reach out to us. All right. So with that being said, I want to thank Frank for being here with us today. I want to thank the
Welcome.
audience from across the world who are looking at this program. We are reaching over 50 plus countries. I want to thank those who are here right now, and I want to thank those who will be looking at the replay, the rebroadcast of this program. And I want to encourage you to like, subscribe, and share. We see that over 70% of those who are viewing our content, you are not subscribers as yet. Perhaps you forget to press that subscription button. For the 20+% who have subscribed, you represent over 30,000 persons. We want to thank you for subscribing. Those who have not yet subscribed, I want to encourage you to do subscribe. It's going to help us to grow. It's also going to help the algorithm. And it's going to help you because you will be the first to get these information that we are packaging and presenting to you regularly. All right. So Be blessed and see you in the next broadcast. Frank, always great to have you, my friend.
Okay then, buddy. Take care and all the
Yeah,
best.
my friend. Take care. Bye.